Adventures... What?! Starchild yells at her for... Oh my god, this artwork! Look at that face, my friends! That is the face of pure constipation! Let's get you home. It's almost dawn. Sometimes I hate the sun. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. How the hell do we survive this trip? Either we pull off the same trick as those mystery cubes that came the other way. You open up and unleash a horde of flesh-eating cybermats, or we don't survive it. Starchild... This is the best plan ever!
You magnificent bastard, I read your book!
Drake is back as Darkwing Duck, and he sneaks into the Quackworks office, trying to figure out who actually started the company. Don't know why he needed to break into the office to do that. Couldn't you just Google it? Or, considering how they tend to replace words for parody purposes, Goofle it? It's Goofy's search engine. What, don't think they just reference another Disney character? He tries to type in Founder in the employee database, and it just ends up with Flounder from Little Mermaid. No, I said Founder! He is the founder, DW. After King Triton retired, Flounder went off and started his own company. First, I'll take a few drops of the reducing potion. Secondly, Okay, this really didn't shrink me in the way I thought it would. Darkwing thinks that actually kind of makes sense, given how the company just seemed to pop up out of nowhere, and everyone began leaving their jobs en masse, even at organizations like Fowl and Shush. That, of course, makes absolutely no real sense, but his train of thought is interrupted by a guy mistaking Darkwing for someone else. It's Maury Thwackenstein's retirement party, and he requested the best lounge singer from Quackworks School of Crooning. Harvey? That school is for hacks, and I never trust anybody with a degree from it. They spend months on Tony Bennett, but 1 week on Sinatra. Fair enough. They arrive in the solar system and come upon Earth, which now has a brown haze around it. Orb says that the haze is from noxious though non-lethal gases. My true home, Nile. The place where I was born. Ruined by the Xenos who stole it. And who murdered my parents. Are you Batman or are you Superman, Starchild? Make up your mind! Or are you Space Jesus? That really did not help this debate. Never thought I'd hear a quaver in your voice, but this does explain a lot. Why you're such a flesh-pure loner. Yeah, because being introverted and uninterested in genetic modification is based on what planet you're from. Why you obsessively collect ancient homeworld artifacts. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Compared to the rest of us, you're an alien, a native of this wretched planet. I arrived at those conclusions 2 issues ago! Are these 2 seriously the best agents Mother Bank has? Letting him go up to the side of the wall and onto the ledge, where a test tube sits with the growth formula. He splashes it on himself and he starts growing, presumably shattering the test tube in the process. Hey, I'm growing! I'm getting bigger and bigger! Insert your own jokes here about penises. I know you all want to. I'm normal again! I'm a man again! I am a man!
Ow! Who punched me in the face?
It was 90s, kid! Bulba is also confused why Darkwing Duck would return after his crime bots have, well, eliminated all crime. Darkwing explains that the whole thing is basically a dictatorship with Bulba in charge and the crime bots as his own foot soldiers, so he wants to let people be free to lead their own lives again. After being knocked into some equipment, Goslin proclaims Keen Gear, which seems to finally get a reaction out of the top secret box. However, what it also does is activate an exposition tape, where Bulba explains that his original body had been destroyed and was converted into a blender that was bought by inventor Gyro Gearloose from DuckTales. He discovers discovered he had the ability to transfer his consciousness through electronics and possess them, allowing him to form a new body. However, he wasn't able to take possession of the Gizmo Duck armor even with the password. Gyro thinks the suit doesn't register him as a person anymore, and thus won't respond to his commands. As such, Bulba swears to find a lackey who can use the suit, though Gyro promises to alter the password phrase by remote. Bulba, in turn, swears to take over St. Canard and force everyone to say every word possible until he finds the correct code phrase, then flies off, hence why Honker was being forced to read the dictionary earlier. How exactly was Bulba a criminal mastermind when it turns out the only reason he took over an entire city was to get access to a piece of equipment that he could have just destroyed and isn't really that much better than his current electronics possessing form? However, the armor soon arrives on its own power, revealing that the code phrase was Keen Gear, as Gosselin had proclaimed before, allowing the armor to equip itself to her and allow her to become Gosmoduck. While Gosmoduck distracts Bulba, Darkwing sends Launchpad out to try to find the Thunderquack. Anyway, we cut to Big Burger expositing how no one is suspecting that he's behind pushing Richter like this. While I'm just wondering, wait, is the Battle of the Bands' success measured in how loud they're supposed to be? Soon there will be only one band left to beat, the California Raisins. And when they are beaten, Raisinville will finally be mine! That's a stupid plan! How will defeating the California Raisins in a Battle of the Bands allow you to take over Raisinville? Is Raisinville just some town whose name and existence are predicated on the winner of this competition? Like, if Richter wins, is it gonna become Richterville? You were trying to take over Raisinville in the last comic. What makes that town so friggin' special? You own a castle, asshole! What more could you possibly want? What's more, you have an earthquake machine! Clearly you can set your sights higher than one small town named after friggin' raisins! You possess something that they base entire plots around supervillains trying to get their hands on, and you're using it for a music competition!
It just raises too many questions.
And of course, you're losing sight of the real enemy, jackass, because while you're wasting time worrying about the California Raisins, Wild Stallions is gonna come and win the Battle of the Bands! However, Steve has a problem with this. Do you know what any thug with half a brain would do with that hood?
What, a cap? Or a brooch? Or pterodactyl?
No, he just pulls it down over his head. Yeah, and it's a good thing that you don't have anything on that might be ill-conducive in a fight, like a cape or something. And so our comic ends with this declaration. Lose the hood, you're Robin! You know what I find so damn funny about this? When Damian Wayne, Bruce's son, long story, became Robin, his costume was notable for having a hood on it. I wonder if Grant Morrison deliberately did that just as a middle finger to this story. I have no proof of that, obviously, but that's gonna be my headcanon. This comic sucks!